Hey everyone, I am the brand strategist here at OLO Branding Group, and I wanted to quickly cover a really important topic today, one of my favorite topics, and it's what's a campaign. Most people hear what's a campaign and their brain shuts off. That's the marketing magic. Oh, that's too much, and it's not. Let me demystify this for you real quickly and help you understand what is important when thinking about campaigns. So a campaign is one brick in the wall that is marketing, meaning each campaign should live and be nice and tidy, and we should know what each one's doing, but they don't work by themselves. One good campaign will not make or break a company. Multiple campaigns working together and being tied together with the mortar, and I'll explain what the mortar is later, that is what makes a great marketing for a business, great branding for a business, is how are these individual pieces put together and what are we building? What does that building look like? Not just walls out in a field, but are we building a house? Are we building a wall? So to make this make sense, the first thing a campaign needs is a goal. We have to know what we're trying to do. So if the goal is to book more demos, if the goal is to get more clients, if the goal is to educate current customers about new products, we need to define that right at the beginning of a campaign. So once we know what the metric or the needle that we're trying to move, we need to have some kind of content or offer around it. So what I'm going to explain today is about what 80% of our campaigns are. This is the recipe we follow. That last 20% doesn't fit a normal mold, but we still call them campaigns, and we can talk about that in a later video. So what are some examples of content offers? I have them here on my phone. We have blog posts, ebooks, guides, webinars, slideshow, infographics, kits, case studies, new industry research, templates, product demos, videos, white papers, checklists, paid ad content, podcast, quizzes, courses, social media posts, and there's a bunch more than that. You can get as creative as you want. A campaign is just, we are tracking everything that's related to whatever that content is, which is going to help us move that needle. You're going to take that content and you're going to create a landing page. A landing page is just where the content lives. It could be a website, it could be a blog post, it could be any type of place that you can access this information and also has information that the person or the metric that you're trying to move understands that this is the next step to take after you've interacted with this content, meaning set up a schedule or call us today. So once you've created a landing page with a good call to action, you're going to create a thank you page. So after they've done this thing you do, you want to make sure you thank them. And that thank you page will have, usually is where they can download whatever the content you've made is. After you have a piece of content, landing page, thank you page. Next is a thank you or follow-up email saying, thanks for downloading. Here's your content, and also here's some more things that might be related to what you downloaded that you'll be interested in. We continue to try and engage the customer with things that we think are related to this piece of content. So once you have a thank you email, we usually like to do a content offer, a landing page, and then also have a blog specifically about it to talk about the content we have. So this kind of frames whatever our content offering is. Now that we have our house all cleaned up and everything organized internally, we have to let people know about it. So make some social media posts. So however you communicate with your audience, this is where you're going to do that. You're going to do social media posts, you're going to do blog posts, and you're going to let them know, hey, we have this great piece of content that might interest you. And that's also how the campaign starts rolling. So we want to make sure we have our house clean before we invite people over. So that's why the order is important. So one other thing to consider when you're creating your social media is schedule out in advance appropriate times throughout the year to bring this content back up. So if you have a piece of content that makes wonderful sense to put out on Father's Day, schedule right now that content's going to go up near Father's Day. That way we're proactively creating our marketing and campaign calendar. Go back to your website and see if there's a spot that you can add this piece of content somewhere, or at least a breadcrumb that'll bring you to your landing page. So you should have an offer on your homepage. You should have an offer somewhere, and you should be rotating those out as you update and change your campaigns. The next thing you're going to do is you could do some paid advertising. So if you have a great piece of content, so an example that we did is the ultimate guide to home building in West Michigan. This is something we know was going to kill it. So what do? We're going to put some paid advertising behind it to really amplify the reach of that content and get more people looking at it, because we know it's so valuable. If people just saw it, if they just could see it, they would absolutely love it. So that's when paid advertising makes sense. The last step is analyze and connect. So analyze, we'll talk about in a second, but connect is that mortar I was mentioning earlier, where we take this campaign and we figure out how to connect it to other campaigns. So go to old posts and figure out, is there a spot that makes sense to introduce our new piece of content we made? This way, when someone visits your website on any page, they're getting redirected and engaging with your company continuously without even having to think. If I'm looking for something and you have more content about that something, you should be putting that together. It's really important, it's hard to do. So one thing we do is a content audit, which I'll talk about in a different video, and how that really makes this process awesome. It's that mortar that really creates the strength of a marketing campaign. So then the last thing is analyze, and analyze is pretty much what it sounds. Look at how the campaign's performing. See if there's areas we could be tweaking. If, let's say, it blows up on LinkedIn, let's get into LinkedIn and start talking more on LinkedIn about this in future posts and future campaigns. So that's what goes into a great campaign. It seems like a lot, and it is, but it's important we do it right. From the customer's perspective, they're just seeing a social post, maybe an email, they'll go read a blog, they'll get engaged with the content, and that'll move us closer to that initial goal we set out. So again, my name's Alex Benda, and I am the branding strategist here at Oh Hello Branding Group. If you have any questions or comments or any other campaigns that have worked for you, drop them in the comment. What is the most successful campaign or idea that your business has ever ran? Or is there something that I missed that you're like, hey, you should make sure you're doing that too? It's constantly changing. Marketing is living and breathing. People who did this 10 years ago wouldn't be able to handle today's landscape. And that's so exciting. There's always a new opportunity to chase down. So thanks for watching, and I look forward to seeing you in my next video.